Nice. Well, I got this recorded too, so I'll just take this out to where people can see it as well later on.
Terrific.
And I hope you're recording too, Marion. So I think we're both recording.
I
Okay,
think
so,
I am.
yeah. So hopefully this will. I got about 25 minutes here, so let's make this nice and good, awesome. So I think I talked about the last time when I was on here about the me not thinking big enough. You know,
Hmm.
basically when I first started 6 years ago, I started off just like anybody else. I wanted to just make a basic, uh, you know, $500 a month. So that's pretty much that was realistic to me. So what I did was, uh, okay, I muted you, Marion. I'm sorry, but you're kind of okay. Good, good. You can unmute yourself right back anytime. Um, basically, what I was doing was I was doing everything right. You know, I had a vision. I had daily goals. I didn't have any partners at the time when I first started, but I was working on making connections with skills. You know, back 6 years ago, uh, it was one of the most popular things at that time for splash pages was epic videos and stuff that I do. That was back then. Now people will get on camera and they just talk. Well, back then, 6 years ago, the big thing was like really cool epic videos. That still works now, but people have the resource to just get on and make their own videos. So uh, that was hot back then. That was the cool thing to do. So I got a lot of connections back then, just swarming at me, one after another. Hey, can you make me an epic video? So I was like, sure, man. Um, I did it for free for a lot of years just to get to get uh, good connections. I've actually gotten millionaire MLMers on my Skype from that. Met people like um, what was his name? Tissa Godavatani, people like that. I mean, they were just one after another. Um, I actually have a connection with the owner, one of the owners of AlertPay at the time was actually on my Skype as well. So let's not even go there because back then it was good, but now it's like I can't even use it now. But I got a lot of good connections, so I was doing the right thing. I had a vision, and I was all that was just basically to snag future partners in future business ventures. So I had a long-term vision. I wasn't necessarily wanting to start something of my own. I wasn't even thinking about becoming a program owner. I was just a basic affiliate, but um, I was just building up. I wasn't doing it like everyone else. I was doing it differently. I was using a skill that I had to render a service to get people who would be valuable for me in the future because I knew I was going to be doing something in the future. I just did not know what yet. So I had the vision. I didn't know where that vision was going to take me, but I had a plan of action that I knew it was going to help me sooner or later. So, even if you don't know what you're going to do on to get to where you want to go, you just know that you have to realize that you're going to get there, and you have to, whether you're ready or not, you have to trust that you're going to get there, even if you don't know how you're going to do it, and you have to prepare for it. So that's what I did versus people who just they pick at things, but they don't really do anything strategically. They don't build up for a specific vision that they have. So my strategy was to get and meet as many potential partners that could help me get to where I want to be as I could. And how I did that was I rendered a service that I have now. Whether your service is it could be as good as blogging. You can blog about these people. You can get in there and just advertise their program for them as a normal affiliate, and just get in contact with them. They could be program owners, they could be people, they could be web developers, they could be programmers, they could be video guys who can do good videos, anything. You just need to, if you want to be a good business person, you have to understand that you're not going to be able to do everything by yourself. So let me make sure I'm still on here. Yeah, you have to hustle. Just like Janelle said, you can't do everything yourself. You have to realize you're not all great and talented. I'm not all great and talented. I'm just a normal guy. A lot of people, all they know how to do is surf, but there's one ability that you can have, even if you don't have any skill sets whatsoever other than surfing. You can have that leadership factor. You can develop the leadership factor, and that's one thing that 98% of people don't have, is that leadership factor. So that in the business factor as well, making smart business decisions. Now you're going to make a whole lot of mess ups. I'm still making mess ups today. I'm still in the business learning curve, as you can. I've been doing it for 3 years now. And you still make mistakes. There's business people who've been in business for 50 years who still make mistakes. You win some, you lose some. But you have to have a vision. You got to know where you're gonna. You're going to be getting somewhere. You may not know how you're going to do it, but you got to prepare for it, whether you're ready or not. You just got to prepare yourself by gathering resources and connections and thinking on ways to do it. Now, the biggest threats, I want to talk about some of the biggest threats that keep most people from having an online success in the long term, and then I'm going to talk about the solutions to that. The 4 biggest threats, in my opinion, is not having a long-term vision. Marion talks about it a lot, is the why. Why are you doing this? Not having a why. The why to me is your motivation. And that's something that may not come for years down the road, but it's something that you want, something that you're doing this for. Because if you don't have a reason why you're doing this, what's the point in doing it? So not having a reason and a vision, long-term vision, is something that if you're not going to be motivated, you're just not going to be motivated. You're not going to do it. Not having daily goals, that is another big thing that people do. A lot of times people will sit there and all day long, and they don't know to take a pen and paper or a whiteboard of some kind, put it on the wall, and just write down simple tasks to do for the day. When you're trying to, I like the terminology that Will Smith put it. If you're trying to go about building a huge wall, you don't start off by thinking about building that wall all at once. You just place one brick at a time, as perfectly as a brick can be placed, and you just do it one at a time. You just focus on one brick at a time, and then soon you'll have a wall. And that's how I look at daily goals. Don't look at trying to accomplish your long-term goals and your vision all at once, because it's not going to happen overnight. It may take years. Just focus one day at a time, and during that one day, focus on one task at a time, and then soon you'll have that vision start to take place. Not having partners of some kind, I think, is another reason why I think a lot of people fail. You don't have to have partners right away, but I think a big part of it is networking a whole lot with different people. Like I said before, that was my strategy. I have built a huge list of potential partners in the past, and I chose Randy Howard as that long-term potential partner, because first of all, we think just alike. We're always on the same exact thought pattern and wavelength. It's crazy how we will I'll think of an idea or something, and then I'm about to talk to Randy on Skype, and then he basically says, "Hey, I had this idea." "Hey, I did too," and it's basically like the same ideas. So it's like, whoa, man, I'm like freaked out right now. It's like we're psychic. We're like on the same connected wavelength or something. I don't know. It's like do. It's like, but anyways, having a partner in the long term of some kind, even if you're just an affiliate, you got to have, don't look for just people in your downline. Look at those people in your downline as partners. Try to pick out the people in your downline as work with them and make them your partners. Don't just make them a number. Don't You got to work with them, because the more successful your people in your downlines are, the more you're successful you're going to be. So you're just going to have that good reputation as a great sponsor is what you're going to be. And as a program owner, think of your members as your partners. A partner to me is someone who will work with you, who you work together with, who you help, and that's what a partner to me is. That's my terminology of a partner. A lot of people in business, they'll say, "Oh no, partners, they're your shareholders. No, that's not, to me, that's not what a partner is to me." But some people in business call that, so I kind of got to be careful as a program owner for calling members a partner, because for some reason, people get that confused, like they're co-owners or something like that. But to me, a partner is someone who you work with. And the last one is, do I dare say it, it's procrastination, laziness. That comes from not having a motivated vision, a motivated why. If you come on here and you have no idea why you're not on here every day, and you don't have no motivation to be on here every day, even though it's what you would like to do, there's nothing, you're just sitting there with no sense of purpose. That's going to eventually lead to intense burnout. And when you get that intense burnout, it's going to lead to I need a break. I just need one day of a break to get this burnout out of the way. Well, that one day leads to 3 days. That 3 days leads to a week, and then you'll come back off and on a little bit here and there, but you're not fully. You have intense burnout. You're not liking what you do anymore, and that's going to lead to procrastination. And guess what? You're going to get those results in the future. So when you have things starting to go for you, basically, when you have things rolling for you, it's human nature to want to also take a break. In reality, for me, if you have things going, there's really no breaks. When you start to get things rolling, the last thing you want to do is take a break. You want to keep it rolling all the time and be even more aggressive, because you can never have enough getting more. You got to keep getting more. You got to keep getting more traffic, more leads, more connections, because if you're you're... Yes, Marion?
Let me just summarize those 4 mistakes. Let's see if I got them all down. One is not having a plan. The second one is not knowing your why. The third one is not engaging partners. And the fourth one was procrastination.
Pretty much. Actually, the first one was not having a vision, not having your why.
Okay.
Second one was not having daily goals. Because sometimes we catch ourselves sitting there at the screen not knowing what to do, and not networking with people is another one, in my opinion, especially if you're in direct sales like we are, or stay at home. And procrastination is, for me, it's very dangerous, specifically for the work at home industry, simply because there's so many distractions around us. We're not at a workplace. We're not in a work environment. We're at our home. So that is very, very dangerous. That's probably one of the worst enemies we can get. And I admit that I procrastinate still quite a bit, and I catch myself doing it because I'm aware of it. So I think it's very important that we are all aware that we can't get lazy. We can't get distracted. We have to set our own hours. We have to be very consistent. And unfortunately, it's very hard to do in this industry, simply because we are in the work from home environment. and we got kids, we got bills to pay, we got the TV running. It's just so many distractions one after another, and it gets a little crazy. Then you got to do the laundry, got to take the dogs out, you get distracted with your dogs. I got dogs in there, Marion, so don't worry about it. That's why I got my door locked. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can distract you and cause just a lot of stuff not getting done, and we struggle with it every day. That's just a part of working at home. But it's also good because you're also working for yourself too, right? You have the freedom to get up when you want to. You have the freedom to set your own hours. You have the freedom to take breaks when you want to, because that's the beauty of working from home in the first place, is because you have that option and ability without I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you don't force yourself to work for you, then someone else is going to force you to work for them, because that's just how it works. So it's a matter of, I guess, forcing yourself to do something that you may not necessarily want to do at that time. But the moment you stop working on that vision, on that long-term vision, the moment you stop working at least 8 hours a day online, working for yourself, trying to meet those tasks and daily goals, then the moment you stop is the moment you stop creating results for your future. Even if it's something as simple as surfing, just because you're surfing and you're not getting results right now from your surfing doesn't mean that surfing isn't creating your future results. So it comes with when you're surfing, people are seeing you. If people are seeing you, in the future you're going to run into them somewhere, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, whether you know it or not, they'll notice you on the traffic exchanges because they've seen you so much. That's just how it works. So just because your surfing isn't creating your results right now doesn't mean it's not going to create your results in the future. So whatever you're doing right now in the present is creating your future. So if you start procrastinating, if you stop focusing on your tasks, and that's basically your future stopping. Whatever you're doing is creating your future. So you can never have enough of more.
Your thought patterns today are creating your future too. And it's more than just your why. Your why is a big part of it. But if you start up with the stinking thinking and the I can't and oh it's too hard and there's days we all feel whiny and want to have a pity party. When you keep that going, that's where you also cause yourself problems. One of my friends likes to say it's your best thinking that's got you to where you are today. Well, it's today's best thinking that's going to affect where you are tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Action and thoughts, and that's where setting the standard for yourself comes in. If you want to make money like a CEO, you have to have the thought pattern of the CEO. That comes. A CEO doesn't necessarily have the skills of creating a website or anything like that, but a CEO has that leadership factor. So if you want to have that leadership factor, you got to be good with creating partners that are better at things that you're not good with, to fill those gaps and to better further along your agenda, whatever your long-term vision is. So you also have to provide them something that they want as well. They may just want the leadership factor. They may like the fact that you're good with people, that you were so good with them. They may be good at the fact that you're a good public speaker, or that you can do something to complement their work. So, or it could just be they hate surfing and they need a surfer for like something that they're doing. They may just want you to sit there all day and surf all day for them and show their work, and that helps you too. It could be anything. But it's one thing. It's that leadership factor. So you got to set the standard for yourself. That includes your thought patterns too, like Marion said. And you always have to raise the bar. Here's a little formula that I came up with for raising the bar for yourself. And basically, you want to find a let's try to come up with this scenario. Let's say you're just a surfer and you're just working with numbers, and you're trying to meet a traffic target goal for them. Well, Marion, she likes to go about her how many conversions, or what is conversions or signups that you get in your surfing, Marion?
I would say signups more.
Okay.
Get signups, the opt-ins, then work towards the conversions.
Right. Okay. I do it a little bit differently. I'm just a large numbers guy. I basically pick like the top 10 TEs. To me, if you don't get the numbers, you're not going to ever get the conversions or the sign-up. So what I do personally, and the thing about it is traffic exchanges, let's say traffic exchanges, most of us here use traffic exchanges as their advertising sources. See what I was going to say. Basically, they have their ups and downs. Some days you'll get 0 signups for like 2 days at one place, and then all of a sudden on the 3rd or 4th day you'll get like 5 signups from it. It's an unexplained mystery that I never could figure out. But I noticed that when I push hard at somewhere like Easy Hits for You, or where it has the majority of the market there, surfing, if I push hard every single day for the big numbers, let's say instead of just getting 500 hits a day, I go for 2, 3, 4,000 hits. To add a ton of exchanges. I can use let's say a ton of co-ops like the Legacy co-ops, or the Legacy co-op, or the the other co-ops out there. That just puts it all over the place, and then I can use other exchanges that I'm upgraded in where I have 1:1 ratios at. If I hit those big numbers every single day, it seems like that even when I don't get conversions, one day all of a sudden I'm getting like 5 or 6 signups 2 days later at once for some reason. So I can't explain why that happens, but let's say I wanted to set a long-term goal of, okay, I want to set something crazy like get 4 billion hits in, let's say, 3 years. It's going to take me at least 3 years to probably get 4 billion hits, because that is huge. Okay, I may even take me longer than that, but let's say I keep track of every single bit of that, and I commit to try to make that huge goal. In order for me to get that, oh man, I would need a ridiculous amount of number. I haven't even done the math on it, but you would have to do the math on it. Let's say you start off, you're going to get it within 4 years. In order to get that, you're going to need at least, let's say, 5 to 10,000 hits a day to get that. And I'm just saying, let's just say 4 million, because I don't know about 4 billion. That's quite a big number, but let's say a huge number. Shut up, Mary. Let's say a huge number that I have to get 5 to 10,000 hits a day to meet a goal that I'm targeting, whatever it is, in 365 days times 4. So that's 4 years. I'm going to have to commit to getting that amount every single day to be able to reach that in 4 years. And how much do I need in 2 weeks? Just narrow it down. Just keep going to narrow it down from a daily goal to a weekly goal to a monthly goal. And as long as you're meeting your dailies and your weeklies, eventually when that 4 years hits, then you're going to reach that goal that you're looking for. And it could be signups too. Let's say you do it with signups. You want 400 signups, paid members in your downline. with one single program within 2 years or less. So, you go out and you got to make at least, so much sales a day, and after you meet that goal, you basically want to constantly raise your bar up, because you want to meet that goal quicker and quicker. You don't want to wait. You don't want to have to wait 2 years. So you try to say, okay, well, I'm pretty much ahead right now. So if I stayed ahead like this, and did even more, since I'm such ahead right now, I would get it in 1 year, something like that. You want to constantly you raise your bar up, and the more you do that, the faster you're going to move, the faster things are going to happen. And when you do that, you're going to realize that things are going to start happening for you. And what's going to happen is, when those things starts happening, you're going to get more and more motivated as it progresses. And the more motivated you get, the more quicker you're going to get. So that's a little technique that I developed. And the faster things starts moving, the more motivated and excited that we want to get up and keep doing it in the morning. Because if things aren't happening for you, and you're gone by 3 months and you haven't had anything happen for you, you're just not going to be motivated, right? So you want to set a huge, massive goal that you didn't even think would be possible. 4 billion hits in 3 years might be possible, but I can't really grasp it right now. So I'm going down and lowering my standards. See, not practicing what I preach here, but whatever 5 to 10,000 hits a day is what I recommend people try to get if they're surfing on traffic exchanges.
So you want to be able to start with knowing what your current metrics are. So if you know that it takes about, say, 5,000 hits to get 100 opt-ins, and out of your 100 opt-ins, you'll probably get 5 conversions, maybe. And everybody's metrics are going to be different, right? And it's going to depend on the type of program you're in, the type of investment it requires, whether it be heavy on time or money, and what people have to invest. So each person's going to have to develop their own metrics. And then after they've got those metrics, push them a little further each day. Go for some more hits so that you go for some more opt-ins, so that you go for some more conversions. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like you said, it's all about making something happen as quickly as possible and keep making it happen. So that can keep you motivated. But if you're making things happen, like I said before when we first started this, if you don't have a long-term vision in your why you're doing it, it's still not going to keep you motivated enough to keep doing it in the long run. So, and as proof of that, back 6 years ago when I started, I really didn't have a why. I thought my why was I wanted to make more money. Well, I made more money. I made quite a bit of money. I was living with my parents at the time. 6 years ago, I was about 18 when I first started, and I was doing pretty decently. I was making, I had a full-time day job, and I was making extra money on the side. I didn't have any bills to pay. Man, I had always constantly had like 2 or 3 grand in the bank, which I don't have that now because I got bills now. But back then, when I had no worries in the world, and I was just started learning this stuff, I had money. I spent all the time. I constantly had money, and you know what? It didn't motivate me at all. I didn't care. Money, I just don't really care. It's not all about the money, even though the money's important. I get more satisfaction with the helping part, helping people online with this stuff. I think that's why I think I got more gratification with creating people videos for free than I did with actually making money. And so I said, that's just proof. Well, what is my why? Why am I trying to do this? Well, because I'm not very materialistic. I'm really not. I just don't. I don't know why, but I do want to have fun. I do like to have fun. My why is I want to enjoy simple things in life with without having to worry about getting up and going to a day job and having a boss. I want my freedom. I cannot work for people. That's one thing I cannot stand. But that's why we're all here too. So um, my why is to be able to have my own place without having to worry about living paycheck to paycheck, and have my freedom and be able to enjoy simple things, like going to the movies, going out, going to a theme park, maybe once a year going on a nice vacation at Universal Studios. I just want to make life easier. Don't necessarily have to be a multimillionaire to enjoy your life online, even though that'd be cool. That would be a bonus if you can make that happen. But you got to start at one thing at a time. You can't just expect to make that happen overnight. That could take you years to do. If you find a way to do that, cool. That's awesome. That's happened to many. That happens to people almost on a daily basis. But it's you got to have a pretty big epiphany to do that. But your first step is just to make life a little bit easier for you. Making enough to pay your bills, so you don't have to stress out every month and have a little bit left over. Just it's just about being able to afford to buy more advertising for you so that you can grow your business more, things like that. A day job should be very temporary if you have one, and if you're in the right mindset and you are forced to have a day job, it should be, and you're in this business, that day job should be a temporary solution or a quick fix until you can get your business going. But this should be your main priority if you're in the correct mindset. So there you go.
So I had a thought and I just lost it. Sorry. When you start with the correct mindset, the idea is, and this goes back to what we talked about last time with the amount you had in your wallet. In the beginning, you couldn't wrap your head around the big numbers. So you started with what you could, and you worked towards it. Once you start getting it, it goes to your raising the bar. Okay, I can see now, I can do this. Now I have a choice. If I don't raise the bar, I'll never get beyond that point. I need to raise the bar now, set the goal higher, and start stretching again.
Yeah, it's one thing that I was so disappointed at is when I took that note out that I was talking about, and it said, $500. Well, seeing I accomplished it, I thought I would be happy when I did accomplish it, but I wasn't. I wasn't satisfied. I was actually disappointed that I didn't ask for more. I was like, man, I should have wrote down more. But that's where, once you get there, you're totally focused on that one thing. You're gonna look at it, and I guarantee you're never gonna be, once you hit that, you're not gonna be satisfied. You're gonna want to, that's not gonna be a lot for you now, since you're actually doing it. So now you're gonna want to take the next step up. And it's even whenever you start making a lot, it's still just, you're going to want to keep going up and up and up, and that's what you want to do. Actually, when people, your grandma or somebody used to say, you should be satisfied for what you have. My grandma used to say that to me. I don't think grandma was right. I think you should never be satisfied for what you have. I think you should constantly be expanding your mind and keep going for more, because unsatisfaction is what keeps driving us constantly, and that's actually a very good thing for us. So when somebody says, well, you shouldn't try to make more money, you should be satisfied for what you have, I think that's kind of silly. But they don't know what they say. They don't know what they're saying, because that's how they were programmed. They don't know any differently. That's how their parents taught them. That's how my parents taught me, but I'm just kind of breaking the trend. So I think we should all break that trend and never be satisfied for what we have. It's not greedy. It's just it's something that you want to keep expanding on, so that you can. Me personally, my why is I want to help people with that. You can't help other people if you don't help yourself first. So that's my thought process on that.
I remember when I was in Mary Kay, our national director used to, she was a really good speaker, and she used to say, people would tell her that, why aren't you satisfied? Don't you think it's greedy of you to make all this money? And she'd answer them, well, I can pray for people, or I can pray for people and help them if I'm making money. Which is going to do more people more good in the long run? You know, think about it. We've got choices we can make. And when you strive for more and you can give back more, you're helping more people along the way, which speaks to the point you were just making.
Yep, it's that's one way how you being satisfied for what you have. I mean, you can be grateful for what you have. You should always be grateful for what you have, because that's a given. You got to be grateful for what you have, otherwise you're never going to be happy. But you also want to never be satisfied, because satisfaction with what you have now it can get you stuck. Because that means, okay, you're satisfied, you don't want to move anywhere else, you want to just stay right here. And that's not what we want to do. We're here because we want to expand. That's why you're here at the show in the first place. No one wants to be satisfied. You want to be grateful, but you want to expand as well. You're not satisfied for being right here. You want to keep going. You want to keep getting bigger. You want to constantly expand your mind, and with that happens to come as a bonus money. Money follows that. That's just how it works. You don't even have to focus on money with this. You can focus on what you love doing, and the money will just follow in, just as a bonus. So that's just how it works. Money, no matter what, when you do this, money's just going to come to you. That's just how it works.
I like that differentiation between feeling grateful and being satisfied. I think sometimes people miss that. And grateful is something we should feel for everything that we have. The fact that we get up in the morning is something to be grateful for. The fact that we have a hot chocolate because we like starting the day that way is something to be grateful for. But that doesn't mean we have to be satisfied. Yes, I'm hearing myself out again. Hang on.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. You're not just because you want to expand doesn't mean when you want to expand, that just means you want to move. You want to move away from your current circumstances to better circumstances. It's not going to create happiness. Gratification is what creates happiness. If you're grateful for what you have, but at the same time working to get better, that's going to create even more happiness for you, because that's just how it is. Yeah, it has been very fun, guys, but I think I got a lot of family coming over here in a little bit, so I think
Switch back over to me, and I thank you very much for being my guest tonight.
No problem. It was fun.
Again, come back another night when you've got more time, and we can keep this discussion going.
Oh yeah,
I think it's good for people to hear it more than just from me. I can say it so many ways, but it doesn't always mean that I'm using the words that resonate with other people. So when we can have guests on, and this is an open invite to anyone else that wants to come on some night and talk about how they do their goals and what they do with them, please do. And grateful that you did come on tonight.
Oh yeah, I love it.